You know those tests that prove a dog has good manners? We've all heard of them, but today we're diving into a program that takes a much more specific, breed-focused approach to what it means to be a good dog. And that really begs the question, right? Is a one-size-fits-all test actually enough for every single breed out there? I mean, should we really be holding a tiny Chihuahua and a giant Great Dane to the exact same standard for what makes a stable, reliable dog? Okay, let's break this down. On one side, you have this idea of general manners, right? A universal standard that pretty much any dog can be tested against. But on the other, you have breed-specific stability, which argues that a test should be custom-built for a dog's unique history and what it was bred to do. It's a really interesting clash of philosophies. And that whole debate, it's exactly why the American Dog Breeders Association, the ADBA, decided to basically go their own way. They saw a real need for something that went beyond just basic manners, especially when it came to the American Pit Bull Terrier. And they made a really clear choice here. Instead of just tweaking the famous AKC Canine Good Citizen test, the ADBA decided, nope, we're not using it at all. They built an entirely new two-tier system from scratch, specifically with their community in mind. So let's get into it. What they created is the ADBA Safe Dog Program, or SDP for short. And it's broken down into two very distinct levels. You've got level 1, which is the basic certification, and then you have level 2, the advanced one. The goal here isn't just to have a dog pass a test and get a certificate. No, it's way bigger than that. It's about promoting responsible ownership in the APBT community, setting a clear benchmark for temperament, and, crucially, offering an alternative to the standard CGC that actually fits the breed. This quote really hits the nail on the head. The program leans into temperament soundness, handler control, and real-world stability. And look, those aren't just fancy words. They're pointing to something super important: a dog's fundamental confidence and its ability to handle real life, which is absolutely essential for a working terrier. All right, so let's start with level I, the foundation of the whole thing. This level is all about establishing the absolute basics of what it means to have a safe and stable canine partner. So you can think of level 1 as the ADBA's answer to the Canine Good Citizen test. The goal is pretty simple, really, to certify that a dog is manageable, predictable, and, well, safe to be around in just normal, everyday life. And here's what that looks like in practice. The evaluation covers a lot of the skills you'd expect, right? Basic obedience like sit and stay, walking nicely on a leash, letting its owner handle its paws and ears. But I want you to notice the emphasis on neutrality to other people and dogs, and on staying in control even with some mild distractions around. It's all about being a calm, steady buddy out in public. Okay, hang on, because this is where things get really interesting and super specific. Level 2, this is what the ADBA considers the true APBT test. This is where the program goes way beyond general good manners and into territory that is tailor-made for this breed. So what's the big deal with level 2? It's about a massive shift in what's expected. We're not just talking safe anymore. This level is designed to prove that a dog is exceptionally stable and can be trusted to stay cool, calm, and collected even when things get stressful. And how do they test for that? Well, the level 2 evaluation is split into two parts that really work together. First, you've got a direct look at the dog's temperament, and then you have a test of their advanced obedience and handler control. So, Part A is all about seeing how the dog handles pressure. We're talking sudden noises, things popping up unexpectedly, strangers, you name it. But here's the kicker. The test isn't just about whether the dog startles. It's about how fast they recover. That ability to shake it off and get right back to neutral, that's key. And it ties right back to the breed standard's emphasis on confidence and solid nerves. Then you move on to Part B, which is all about advanced control. And we're talking a whole different level here. Things like being off-leash, dealing with way bigger distractions than in level 1, and handling more complex real-world situations. It's a genuine test of the teamwork between dog and handler. Okay, so we've walked through both levels of the Safe Dog Program. Let's put it side by side with the AKC's Canine Good Citizen test to really see what makes them so different. All right, so how do these two programs really compare when you get down to it? I mean, right off the bat, you can see some big differences. The CGC, it's for every breed.
The SDP, it's laser-focused on the APBT. And look at the structure. CGC is a one-and-done test, while the SDP has that two-level system. But honestly, the biggest difference, the real game changer, is the temperament and stress testing. The CGC barely touches on it, but for the STP's level 2, it's a huge, huge part of the evaluation.
And all of this kind of leads to a big final question, doesn't it? Seeing how the ADBA created this super tailored program for the APBT, you have to wonder, should more breeds have their own specialized Good Citizen test? One that's designed specifically for their unique history, their temperament, and their original job? It's a compelling idea to consider. Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.